Hello everyone, my name is Clutch and welcome to Lucifer Mechanics Garage of drag, speed, and styrene customs fabrication.
Jamming those gears straight out of hell, with front wheels never touch the ground, destroying everything that I fix, making me rich for my sins. Welcome to the Lucifer's Mechanics Garage.
How's it going everyone? This is Clutch coming at you with another edition of Lucifer Mechanics Garage. Today I want to give you a little show of what I've got going on the floor here today at the shop. Is a car that I've been working on for about 5 years. It's been sitting in a box along with 50 other projects that I've got halfway started or almost done. This car was originally I was building it to be like a show car to put on the ground with the tires and rims. Well, it's going to be displayed like it is now with the tires going to be coming on and off of it, so it'll still be that way. Except the only difference is this one I'm going to display as like a floor model, which it'll be sitting on a round table like it is, except it's going to have the motor on an engine stand and the tires laying beside of it, and making it look like like it's in the process of being worked on, and then I'm just going to call it quits, so that way I can move on to other projects. But I really love this build. I've spent a long time on it, detailing it and everything, which I'll show you here in a minute. I'll take the body off and show you some of the stuff I did. The motor on it, I'm using the 358 NASCAR motor. This right here is just a jig motor where I made my headers, my 180 degree headers for it, and so I've got I got another block that I'm going to be using for it. This, like I said, was just a jig, but I thought them headers turned out real nice, made out of silver solder and plastic and shrink tube. I'll show you guys how I do my shrink tubing and stuff, but I also have another method with a jig I made where you can use aluminum, for your dump tubes coming off your headers. So I thought that was pretty nice. But anyway, this ain't the motor I'm going to display. The other motor I got is it's cut, and I got a different bell housing and transmission. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it together and just set it up on a stand like this, where it's going to sit beside the car. Anyway, yeah. I left the headlight bezels on it, and I'm gonna make them look like they've been made out of sheet metal and welded around and attached. You can see the front end's been tilted how they used to do back in the day, for wind resistance. That was a nice little addition I did, and we'll get some more detail shots of the chassis. Let me spin around here just so you can get an idea how the body looks on it. I really love this car. Like I said, I've been working on it for about 5-6 years. It's been sitting in a box. It's gotten dusty and sat on a tire for all them years and got a mark on the bottom, so I'm going to try to buff it out and everything. But I basically just want to get it done and put on the shelf and display it at a few shows and stuff as like a half-built stock car ready to hit the track, or ready to be finished, and so we hit the track. Spin around here. I'll give you guys another view of things from a slightly taller view, but yeah, this was a fun build. I used a super stocker chassis for this and modified it a little bit, redid the cage, built the back half for it, put it a small addition on the front to extend the front end out for the radiator core and all that. But let's pull it off here and the body off. Alright. All right. Excuse me. But yeah, I've done a lot of detail work on this. It's got a lot of goodies, a lot of scratch built goodies. The gas tank, the fuel cell was scratch built out of styrene flat sheet. The fuel filter was scratch built, which is let me find my little pointy thing here. I'll just use a toothpick. Right here, this right here was all scratch built with the I got like an anodized looking blocks that I made, and so I scratch built all that. The battery bracket, the battery holder, all that was scratch built. As you can see, the inside of the cockpit there, it's got some nice additions to it. You'll see a better shot of it when it's when I do a taller shot. It's a little dusty, and like I said, I got some clammies on it, and where it's been sitting in the box for so long. All these right here, the hydraulic brakes and clutch and all that was all scratch built out of styrene and aluminum tubing. As you see right here, the shocks was scratch built by me. You can actually see a how-to on these shocks over at Scale Model World. One of the members that I was on a youth Facebook forum actually took the how-to and put it on his site. But I'm going to do an addition here, how I make them. It's all solid, one piece. The only thing that's glued is just the pieces that you see on the outside. All the rest of it is all solid, so that way it can't break apart at the ends where it's mounted. It took me a long time to come up with that system. Just upgrading to finally come out with that one. They turned out real nice. This is like the third or fourth set that I've built. You can actually see another set in the beginning of my intro on the 34 5 window coupe green one that I got that's on. You can see the front shocks on it. Those were scratch built by me. You can turn it around here. I'll give you some better shots of everything when I do an upper shot, but yeah, that's basically it from the side shot. Let's get it up here and so you can see some better detail on the inside. Alright everyone, here's a little bit better view of what we got going on inside here. A lot of scratch building went into this and some aftermarket parts. Let me start with the cockpit. As you can see, it's still dusty and grimy, and from where it's been sitting in a box, and I really ain't gonna clean it until I get done handling it, fixing it up, finish detailing it and stuff. When I painted this, I really didn't take a lot of care and wet sanding, the parts that I fabricated, just due to the fact that I just give it a good bath, and I wanted to give it that effect like it was built in the garage. Because don't get me wrong, I love dirt cars. Dirt races in my blood. I've built a lot of dirt track and asphalt stock cars, and something about a car, old dirt track car that people build, there's nothing wrong with it, so don't take me at that I'm insulting anybody, but I just find it, I like putting a lot of detail in them, but I also like the realistic looks of like you just built it in a garage, so. But anyway, as you can see in here, it's got the Detail Master NASCAR gauges. I took R&B Motion washers and put them on the panel, and then took epoxy, put it inside the washers, and then took a red red Sharpie, and just touched them, make them look like they had red lights in them. As you can see, the on and off switch right here I made all that, scratch built that out of aluminum plate, you know, K&S that you can get, and then out of tubing. And then I turn around, as you can see, it's flat. I took a piece and crimped it, and then went in and bent it, and I make it look like a, you know, like an on and off switch that you see on them. And then I added 2 little washers with red dots on there for on and off. I scratch built the coil out of aluminum tubing and added the wires to them, left and right for the hot and ground. And then they go over to the MSD box that I got, and then everything is wired and goes across into the panel and goes down into the motor. And the tack, I got the tack in there. As you can see, I scratch built the handle for the fire extinguisher. So when it catches on fire or anything, you just pull that switch and it runs around and goes into, as you can see, it's got the fire extinguisher. Then it's got the hose that comes out of the fire extinguisher with the it's got an A&N fitting on top to where, like, you know, it extinguishes the fire in case there's one in the cockpit. Thought that was a nice little addition. It's got the Dirt Modeler Kirby seat in it. I added the foam sides and a foam bottom to it. Next time I wound up buying some of his chrome ones that he's got, the stainless ones, so I won't have to paint them. As you can see, it's got the model car, the Detail Master seat belts in it, which I use surgical tape to make the belt straps material, and still got to add the decals on that. Let's pull it back here a little bit. The steering box I just put in a few minutes ago. I got done detailing it. As you can see right here, it's got the steering tensioner, which is like a 1 to 100 or something like that. So, you know, it's a quick turn, it's called, or whatever. And then, you know, it's got the rods that come out, the steering rod. You know, you'll see these setups in a lot of stock cars or you know, drag cars or whatnot. And what it is, it's got these little bends and goes in, and it's going to drop straight down into the gearbox. And this copper tubing, which I use, which is from K&S, and I think it is 46 thousandths. And this comes in handy. It's the smallest tube that they've got. It's always good for fabricating stuff. But I basically use that to make it look like universal joints. Down the road, I'm going to wind up making a set of small universal joints. Probably going to take the ones out of the NASCAR kit and modify them and cast them for future builds like this to get a little bit more realism. But I'm going to wind up adding Protect the little photo etched nuts and bolts to them to make them look like they're bolted in. So I thought that was a nice little addition. As you can see, it's all plumbed. The brakes, the hydraulic brakes, is all plumbed up and goes to the brakes. The wide 5 hubs are from Dirt Modeler, which they're real nice. I think they switched them up now. Of course, I've got like, I don't know, I've got like 15 sets of these. I bought a bunch off of Extreme over from Chip over at Extreme. You know, he sells a lot of products over there, Dirt Modeler stuff. So I wound up buying, I think the last he had about, I mean, I'm sure he still sells them, but I wound up buying a bunch off of him. The last ones of these style, the resin ones. Let's get around here and look at this. Look at the back here. As you can see, it's got the screw jacks in the back that come up through the sheet metal in the back. And I still got to put them in the front. And the fuel cell was scratch built from Styrene, and then it's got the Detail Master fuel cell top on it, and I scratch built the fuel filler top. It's got all R&B motion fittings. I don't know, I wish you could see the battery in there, but I scratch built the battery bracket that holds the battery to, you know, the weld-on ones that go to the side of the frame, and put the bolts up in there where it holds. Got it all lined. Got it all, the positive and negative lines run to it on top. Maybe you see a little bit better there. No, it ain't focusing too well. There we go. You can see all that. And this right here is all scratch built. The fuel filter, I actually made these blocks out of styrene, and they're split, as you can see, and they go over top of the tubing of the chassis, you know, just like to do anodized aluminum blocks. And I thought that was a nice little touch. You can see that the brakes is all plumbed up in there, and everything. Yeah, as you can see up underneath it, it's got the you know, it's got the R&B Motion 3-link in it. You know, it's got scratch built shocks with the springs that I've made. Excuse me. As you can see in there, it's got the as you can see, the bracket that goes on top of the quick change, all up in there. But yeah, that's basically it. I still got to finish the window net, a few more odds and ends, and then I can get started on the dragster. I've been waiting for about 3 weeks now for the scenic rust system that they've got. It's supposed to be real nice, that you can paint over. So I'm really hoping. I contacted them. They said that it should be here by the end of the week. It's coming from the UK. They said they had to back order it, but they said that it should be here by the end of the week. They shipped it out, so that's a good thing. I can get started on the dragster and get it done. And I got a lot to do till the 29th. Like I said in one of my videos, I'm still going to be working on the 61 Dodge interior, Dodge wagon, and the Biscayne chassis and wagon and stuff. I mean, the Biscayne chassis and interior. So I'm going to be randomly pulling it out and putting updates on it, so we don't get too far away on it. But I basically got to get these done for the show for the 29th, for that Whitewater, for Clearwater, Tennessee, I think it is. And but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little edition of Loose Mechanics Garage, and this little update. I'll give an update when I get it finished, and show you some other besides the dragster. I got a mud truck that I'm taking with me, one that I built about 8 years ago, but I've only took it to one show, so I'm looking forward to taking it. I got a few more odds and ends to do to it. So, but anyway, thanks for stopping by the shop and BSing with me, and thanks for everyone. I want to really appreciate and tell everybody thank you very much for subscribing to my channel and commenting. I know I got some pretty loyal followers, and I really do appreciate you guys commenting and you know, and really talking about some of the stuff that I'm doing. And I'm glad I can share my knowledge with you guys, and I'm also learning from everyone else. So until next time, people, love your families, love your pets, and I'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Jamming those gears straight out of hell. The front wheels never touch the ground. Destroying everything that affects. Making me rich for my sins. Welcome to the Lucifer.